Hey everyone, this is Alease Michelle, your online marketing and branding coach. Good morning. How you guys doing today? So today I just want to stop by and talk about that I came across this little saying. I guess not came across this saying. Basically, one of my clients was talking to me. I had a free strategy session, and she said that this feels like a lot of work. Okay, this feels like a lot of work, and that resonated with me. Right? That was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like something very familiar to me. And what started to bubble up inside of me, right, as I was thinking about what she said, this feels like a lot of work, is that a lot of times we lead our life by emotion, right? Emotions really lead us in a particular direction. It could be, a good direction or a bad direction, but we as women in particular, we are really dictated by the way we feel, okay? And when something doesn't feel right, we just don't know how to articulate it, but we just it puts us into a state of overwhelmed, and it also puts us in a state of not believing in ourselves and not feeling confident in what we know and what we're good at and if we're enough. So we answer questions, or we start to address things as, this is a lot of work, or this feels like a lot of work, or I'm not really feeling this kind of stuff. That's my saying. I'm not really feeling this. Okay. So let me share a little story with you and why this really started to bubble up with me. Some of you might not know, and some of you might know that before starting this, I was a full-time college professor. I taught fashion at a college, and I have been doing it for a very long time. I think 17 years is where I was before I resigned. But let me just tell you this. Teaching was my dream job, right? Especially at the college level, my dream job. I, did all the due diligent research, got the degrees that I needed to. Teaching was what I knew I was good at, okay? But somewhere inside of that 17 years of teaching classes and teaching 2 or 3 classes and going on field trips and bringing in guest speakers and doing projects with the students and just really putting all of my energy into the students so that they are successful, something still inside of me wanted something bigger, something different, something something that felt a little different for me, because I was in a different place in my life, okay? Because I think when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I was okay with that. That was feeling my soul. That was feeling my fire inside of me. But as I started to hit in the 40s, something said, girl, you want something a little different. You want to do something a little different. You want to make a stronger impact. But one of the things that I struggle with doing this, make a bigger impact, was, what do I do about my doctorate degree? Because I was also going to school working on my doctorate, right? Most of us who feel like that, most women in particular, most of us feel like we need to get these credentials behind our names before we can be considered credible or considered an expert. We need all of these letters behind our name. So I did what most of us do. I went back and got a doctorate. Now, let me just say this. I'm not knocking anyone who does and who is going to get their doctorate degree. That works for you, okay? But, and getting this doctorate degree, I always felt like, gosh, this is a lot of work, right? This doesn't feel right. I don't feel like going. I don't feel like driving, because I was traveling back and forth to Atlanta, okay? To get this doctorate. So this wasn't feeling right to me. So, and I wanted to quit, but let me just say this. I couldn't quit because my mom was so proud of me. My mom was telling people that, oh, my baby is getting a doctorate. She going to drive into Atlanta. We're going to be able to call her doctor. She going to have a PhD at the end of her name. So my mom was like, she was so excited, and I did not want to disappoint her. But I was telling you, let me tell you, It was a struggle, a struggle. I would be sitting in the classrooms looking at everybody and hating it. One, it was early in the morning. Two, the professors in the classroom who was teaching was just boring, And I was like, I'm a freaking student again. Why am I doing this sitting in the classroom? I don't even teach my students this way. And I'm being taught a way that I don't even like myself. It didn't feel right. This felt like a lot of work. Okay, y'all get, you seeing this little trend that's going on? So, honestly, guys, things happen for a reason. And I got through all of my doctorate coursework, all of it, right? And got down to the comps. And if some of you know what I mean, the comps is the do or die, right? You pass these, then you move on to dissertation. Well, I failed my comps. I failed those comps miserably, right? So as I got read the email that I did not pass my comps, and there was a link on what do I need to do next to retake them or something. It was like a little blue link. And I was like debating, oh my gosh, okay, do I click this link and reschedule these comps? I wasn't feeling it, okay? But if I don't do this and go forward and get this doctorate, I'm going to disappoint my mom. My peers are going to look at me and say, well, what happened? You were right at the, almost done. What happened? Why you didn't complete it? And I was thinking, what story can I come up with, right? So let me just say this to you. This is when the epiphany happened to me. This is when the light bulb just ding, ding, ding. As I was about to click that blue button, I started to think about the classroom setting. And I started to think about the people who were in the classroom and telling me why they were getting a doctorate. And I would hear these stories like, oh, I want to teach at the college level. I want to, be a professor. I want to be an associate professor. I want to teach older students. Because most of the people in the classroom were teaching high school, middle school, or elementary like that. And this epiphany, I don't know why, it just happened when I failed the comps. I guess that's the little shake that you need. And I realized that everything that everybody wanted in that room, I already had. I was already an associate professor. I had 10 years by that time, 13 or 14 years at that time under my belt as a college professor, teaching full-time, doing the work that I loved, okay? But everyone else in that room was trying to get what I got. So I was like, well, why am I in here? Okay, so I started to dig a little bit more. Is it that you just want that DR in front of your name? And that you can, put PhD? And what would that do for you? Would that make you feel more confident? Would that make you feel like you have this extra piece of paper to say that you're smart? And guys, let me tell you this. I know that I'm no dummy. I'm no dummy. All right? I catch on very well. There's certain things I catch on better than others. And I didn't need a piece of paper to justify if I was smart enough, good enough, could do the work, because clearly I had been doing the work. I had written curriculum. I had written new coursework, written a new book for the school, all of these kind of things. I had done that already. Okay, I have managed the department, grew the department, recruited students, was able to sell the program. I had done that. So why was I in that room? That was the thing for me. That's when things started to change for me, because I did not need to be in that room. I did not need to have a DR in front of my name or the PhD at the end of my name. I didn't. And again, let me just say to those of you who are working towards your doctorate, I am really proud of you, because that's what you want to do. You feel it. That's what you want to do. I wasn't feeling it. It felt like too much work for me. And it was, because that's not where my heart was, my desires. So what I wanted to do is, again, you remember I told you I had this desire to make an impact and do something different, right? And basically what I was feeling is that I wanted something that would allow me to spread my wings, be a little bit more free, okay? And this all came about, I can tell you, right? I'm like mixing stories together. This all came about because I didn't really teach classes on Fridays. I was off on Fridays. But so I would go to the mall and I would see these women, just chilling in the middle of the day, getting their nails done. And I always thought, what are they doing? I want to do that. I want that freedom. I want to walk around with, leggings on and yoga pants and t-shirts and buying things, or going to yoga class with my girl and, having brunch in the middle of the day. I wanted to do that, not just on Friday, right? I wanted to do that Monday through Friday. So here's what I did. Now, I did not immediately quit my job. I did not. I decided, okay, girl, what is one of your passions that you want to kick off? I got a message coming through. Let me close that down. What is this passion that you wanted to do and that you really haven't been spending a lot of time with? And that was my art. So what I did was I kicked up and I started selling and doing artwork, right? I set it up an Etsy shop. I created my own website. I was selling my artwork. I was showing it. I was going to vending shows. I was showing in galleries. I was getting printed in magazines. I was getting commission work. And lo and behold, this feeling came up again. I'm feeling like this is work, okay? And what it was is that this love that I was doing, okay, which is art, which is still my love, was turning into a job. I felt trapped again, okay? I felt trapped that I had to do what somebody else wanted me to do, even though I might not have been feeling it. So what I did was I took those feelings that I was having and I started to blog about them, okay? And this was like on the beginning of really blogging. Blogging was taking off. I was already writing in my journal, but now I want to share what I was feeling and getting some feedback from other artists, okay? So I would blog about them, talk about, what do you do with commission work? How do I handle commission work? How do I, move people who want commission pieces to pieces that I've already done? So I was sharing these different strategies that I was using to move me away from commission work to more selling the products that I was already doing. So that literally, guys, sharing with other people what my marketing strategies were and how I was moving my art and selling my art took a whole nother path. And that path right now leads to what I do right now, which is coaching other people how to market their business, brand themselves to be an expert, because that's what I wanted to be. And why I was going to work on my doctorate degree is to be seen as this expert. And I thought to be seen as an expert, I needed to have those degrees. But what I realized, okay, degrees, certificates, papers do not make you an expert. You know what makes you an expert? It's your experiences, the results that you're getting. That is what makes you an expert, makes you credible, makes people want to do business with you, makes people want to hire you to come speak at an event. It's your experiences, not that you have a DR in front of your name, a PhD, a piece of paper hanging on the wall. It's your experiences. That's when transformation happened to me, that I started to realize that I had something that people wanted and wanted to hear. I could help people based off my experiences of what worked and what did not work. When I realized that, life opened up, and that feeling that I was having was the verge of a panic attack. Y'all know what I mean by panic attack, okay? I realized that through all that process that I was going through, because that's what it was a process to get me here, is that feeling that I was having of being trapped was on the verge of a panic attack. And when I realized that, when I feel that, I know what that feeling feels like. It's very something that I recognize very quickly. When I feel that sense of panic, I feel that whatever the situation is, I feel like I'm trapped and I don't have a choice. And we all know that we have a choice. We can make a decision. We can make that decision. It's our responsibility. We can do this. Nobody else but me. And when I feel that, I realize that, okay, you feel trapped for a reason. You feel like you can't get out of this, that you have no choice. It's time to get yourself together, meditate, pray, whatever you need to do to find the solution to get out of this, because you can get out of anything. So in that, I realized, okay, one, my experiences and results is all I need, right, to help other people. If people haven't experienced what I experienced, then, okay, we're going to have different, I'm not going to be able to help them. And that's okay, because someone else has different experiences and different results. I also learned that when I feel this sense of trap, it is a fear. It's a sense that you need to get out of what you're doing. Now, I also recognize, and we say this a lot, that panic and fear are two different things. Panic is that, again, let me explain. You feel trapped and you feel like you can't get out. You just can't get out. Fear is listening and believing in the stories that have been told to you, and you feel like they are real. That's a difference, because I can change the stories. I can create new experiences to change the stories so that I am no longer fearful. But that panic attack keeps you restrained. It's that trap, and that you feel like something is not right. Okay? So, in all of that, what I'm saying to you, if something feels like a lot of work, if something doesn't feel right, then it's time to get out. It's time to change what you are doing. It's time to either get the help that you need to help you escape what that is that you feel like is keeping you trapped. All right? So, if you have not learned anything from what I've just said, I'm just going to break it down real quick from you. I just said it. Get out. If you're not feeling it, get out. Do something different. Get the help that you need. If you need any tools and resources to help you make that transition to being a confident expert, that I know you are, because you guys got a lot of knowledge out there, and you want to be able to monetize it. You want to be able to help other people in a big way. Then go to my branding and business toolkit. You can go to it, go to aleasemichelle.com/toolkit and get the resources that you need so that you can break this feeling of being trapped. I want you to move from being in a panic situation to being in a more fearful situation. I know more people don't tell you that, because if you're in this more, I'm just scared, then we can change that quickly. We can change the stories that you're saying and you're keeping in your head that you believe in. We can change the experiences to make them happy. I am confident. I am loving this. This is amazing, okay? So I want that from you. So again, guys, if you're looking for the resources and tools to help you move past that panic stage and help you feel more like this is what you want to do, then go and check out my my toolkit. It is the business and brand, it's branding and business toolkit. You can go to aleasemichelle.com/toolkit. All right. So guys, thank you for joining me. I will be back tomorrow with, some other tips and strategies. And again, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll be talking to you later. Peace out.